Hey, it's Joe Ovies from 99.9 The Fan, along with Jatovi McDuffie. You might recognize him from the Durham Bulls. He's the in-game host. Although, Jatovi, it's rough, man. We ain't got sports.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm growing the beard. It's the whole playoff beard right now. Same thing with the hair, letting it blow out because as soon as I cut it, it may last a little longer.
I'm also growing out the beard, a pandemic beard. I don't know what you're gonna call it, video game beard. I don't know what it is. But one thing, the reason why we're doing this on our Facebook Live here, with the absence of traditional sports, there has been a, a lot of attention being paid to eSports.
Yep.
From the sports perspective, we've seen two things show up. The first one was the NASCAR iRacing series.
Yeah.
And the iRacing series has been going on for a while now, and sometimes normal actual race car drivers can participate in it, but they have their own group and they've been doing their thing. But with no NASCAR races in play, with no other sports on the weekend, Fox Sports 1 put an iRacing series event on, and the first weekend alone, it got nearly 1 million views on a traditional cable channel. That's big for something like that.
Well, the crazy part is that this is the time for esports has always been on the rise. It has been growing. When the kid Bugga, he goes by Bugga, when he took off with that $3 million purse from Fortnite, that opened a lot of eyes to esports. But it still was lagging behind traditional sports. But now with everybody having to sit at home and trying to find something to look at, yeah, people are recognizing that esports really, it has a following, not only with the gamers, but now that people can actually take time to watch and try and figure out what it is, yeah, it's growing. This is the time.
Now, why do you think non-traditional games are the reason why, like not sports games, have taken off the way that they have, and like say NBA 2KL, the 2K league that a lot of traditional sports teams have bought into, why that might not take off the same way?
So the big thing is the loving traditional sports, like how we love baseball, we love basketball, but we can play baseball physically.
Yes,
we can go out to a basketball court and take some shots, miss everything, but still have fun doing it. I mean, it's physical activity. We can get out and do that. We can't take a staff and have it grow or glow orange at the end and shoot out flames, shoot out fireballs. The beauty of esports is it's that meld between like the old time chess player where you're coming up with trying to figure out your moves and what you're going to do. Same thing as coaching in football, basketball, or whatever. So you've got that aspect. Then you've got the aspect where we all have creative imaginations. We're all scared of the dark because the only thing in the dark that's scaring us is what? Our imagination.
Right.
So we have that super hyperactive imagination. So now you meld those two. Now you got to add in the fact that you have to have, people don't realize that esports players, those top pros, those big time players like Ninja, they have nutritional programs, they have workout programs, just like any other NBA basketball player to NFL football player. So you take that physical part, that mental part, you meld them together, and that's esports. So the reason like your League of Legends is so big is because you've got that imagination aspect to it. Basketball, NBA, yeah, it's cool. And I can play 2K all day, but the problem is, I can't.
Oh, and I know people who play 2K all day. A guy that I've worked with over at ESPN, Emmett Golden, he's up in Cleveland and he plays MLB The Show like nonstop. He was actually complaining to me a couple weekends ago. He's like, man, the umpires are out to get me. Like the strike calls are bad and all this other stuff. So there's an authentic nature to the sports games. But I think you're right. I think the misconception about esports, I actually think, starts with the name esports. If they had named it like competitive gaming or something like that, maybe it goes in a different direction. But when you put sports to it, there's this automatic scoffing that occurs. despite the fact that at its base, watching Ninja, as you mentioned, dominate a game of Fortnite, or this new game that people are playing right now online from Riot, was it Valorant?
Valorant?
Or Valorant?
Yep.
Like all these games to watch, there's no difference between watching Tiger Woods dominate a golf course or LeBron James doing his thing versus versus Ninja doing his thing on Fortnite. You're watching the best of the best
Yes.
do something that you could easily pick up and try yourself. I can pick up a basketball. I can goof around in a playground with my kids, but I can't dunk like LeBron James. Hell, I can't even dunk, period, right?
And
Or
see,
Steph Curry is making all these circus shots. You know, I can, try to do a sky hook and goof around. I might make it once out of 100 shots. Steph Curry's doing this 100 times out of 100 times. So to see, I can build a structure in Fortnite methodically. I mean, you see me with my Switch Pro controller. I'm just kind of going like, okay, there's the X button and I got to do this. And all right, boom, boom, boom. When I took my kids to the Triangle eSports Championships in Cary that you were holding, and they saw the older kids with a PC, keyboard, mouse setup in front of a monitor, and they were just kind of sitting there going through reps. They were building ladders to the sky because they were seeing how quickly they can do it. Those reps are no different than somebody taking free throw shots 100 times just to get the reps in.
But then even if you take into account even all of that, what you said, which is spot on, but then add into the fact, you can't go and play in an NBA game against Steph Curry.
Right.
You can go to a pro tournament.
Yeah, but why would Ninja? Yeah, but why would I want to go toe-to-toe with Steph Curry? I know what the result's going to be. I'm going to get crushed. Just like I'll bring up the Triangle Esports Championships that were in Cary a couple months ago. I brought my kids, right?
Yeah.
And along with the Fortnite tournament that you were holding, there was a Smash Brothers tournament going on.
Yeah.
And I thought this would be a really good opportunity for them to, like, they have it in their head. I'm pretty good with Smash Brothers. I got my guy, my older son, Caleb, he's all about Zelda and, kind of spamming with the shield and everything else. And I was like, no, dude, you don't get it. Like, this is all they do. They practice this all day. They go into tournaments all the time. You can win some money that way, but like, this is a job. You have to take it seriously. So in a weird sort of way, I was happy for them to get that experience because they could see, oh, these guys aren't messing around.
Oh yeah, but the people that you're talking about, the major pros, that's what they do all day. That's the ones that go out to the regular tournaments. The majority of them, honestly, are truthfully like you and I.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just average players. Like, you're better at Smash than I am, but I can get you a Super Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah, I just spam people with Rob the Robot. I mean, that's what I do. I'm doing the same move every single time with Rob. Or Rocket League. Rocket League is another good example of this. I actually think that Rocket League is the competitive game that actually makes the most amount of sense for somebody who is new to the concept, because it is wholly unique in terms of it being a sport. It's like an actual sport you can play, and there are no special power-ups. Like, you can make your car look different.
It's so understandable. It's easy. It's soccer with cars. You understand the game.
Just like soccer, and just like soccer, I can kick a ball up and down the field, but I'm not Messi. And I can get in there and I can hold my own for a little bit, play a little defense. But then I see a dude who can, like, what is it called? Feathering, where you kind of like hit the boost for a little bit. And these dudes are just flying across the screens. I'm like, how do you do that? Well, easy. We practice it all the time.
The really crazy part, and this is going to be I guess a reach, but it fits. I don't know if you're watching the World According to Jeff Goldblum on Disney Plus.
I have not. I'm too busy watching the Clone Wars with the kids, and I haven't gotten to the Goldblum thing yet.
So watch the Goldblum one. Watch especially. There's one episode where he's talking about ice cream.
Okay. Ice
cream. The reason that he tells you all the stories and everything else, and the reason that we love ice cream so much is that it takes you back. When you taste it, you get memories and memories about how you were young as a kid and how you enjoyed and tasted it and who you were with, like, be it with your grandparents and so on and so forth. Soccer, the very first sport that the majority of players play, of kids, when we're jumping into any sport, is what? Soccer.
Soccer, yeah.
It's not football. It's not baseball. honestly, the first thing that we're all playing is soccer. And so it's an easy concept for everybody to pick up on. So when you see Rocket League, it's that same mentality. You know it's soccer, and it's easy to watch that it's soccer. Yes, I may not like soccer even though that I'm older, but I still love soccer.
Yeah, you like playing it.
Yeah.
So these are all the things that are going on right now with esports. And if you're just catching us right now on Facebook Live, by all means, leave a comment. Like Josh left a comment. This is my two favorite sports personalities in the triangle. How about that? We appreciate that, Josh. No, so the reason why we're having this conversation and why I wanted to bring Jatovi on today, along with his involvement with the Triangle Esports Championships, is just kind of, crash coursing people as to what's going on with esports since it's been thrust into the mainstream at a rate that's, I don't think even they could expect. It's been bubbling under the surface. I've always argued that esports has its own separate demographic that is direct to fans. This stuff doesn't get broadcast normally on ESPN or on NBC for like a Sunday night football game. All these things are available on Twitch and other platforms like Mixer and YouTube gaming. But Twitch, I think, is still the most popular of the streaming services. Most people go to that one. And it's interesting when you go to the Twitch leaderboard, so to speak. What you're looking at here with live channels and browse. I've got this going by high to low in terms of viewers. Right now, this closed beta for Valorant is the top stream thing. I think you had told me like how many concurrent viewers did they have at one point?
At one point, they had 1.6 million concurrent viewers.
Jeez, that's nuts.
But even look now, if you see, that's 1.2 million people right now watching, and it's a closed beta. It's not even out. You can't even. Not many people can play the game. It's a freaking closed beta.
Right now we got 1.2 million viewers watching this closed beta of a game. And then League of Legends continues to be very, very popular, despite the fact that Fortnite might be quote unquote trash, according to my kids. They still have because it's been out for a few years. It's it's not cool anymore. Right now, my older son's playing Apex Legends nonstop.
Really?
And what's the other? There's another survival free-to-play game. Was it Bigger? I think is what it's called.
So there are a couple that are really the big one that just dropped was Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone.
Yeah, Call of Duty Warzone's on this list right now with about 121,000 viewers.
Yep. PUBG, Player Unknown Battleground, or Player Unknown Battleground. PUBG. I hate that acronym.
What I love is that people are still watching Minecraft, and apparently people are watching Animal Crossing New Horizon, which that just cracks me up.
Minecraft is still one of the #1 games out there.
Oh yeah, no. It's funny. Minecraft comes in and out of favor with my kids all the time. Like they're right back into Minecraft right now. It for a while there, it's like, I don't want to play it anymore. But now everybody's in like deep into building these worlds in their own little games.
Yeah. Somebody actually, I cannot remember the name of the actual individual, but someone built a scale world of the Earth where you can actually go through.
That's too much time, man. That's too much time. I don't even know.
But you can actually go through and visit like Mount Everest in Minecraft.
Now, the reason why I brought up the live who's watching what, you gotta go way on down to see your first actual esport game being played. FIFA 20. Now, FIFA 20 always dominates in terms of competitive play, but I keep scrolling and I keep scrolling. I mean, Overwatch, not as popular as it used to be, despite the fact that we've got these professional leagues that are taking place. Smash Brothers are still going on. People are watching weird ASMR channels, like, oh, there it is. There's only 6,000 people watching NBA 2K, which is something that ESPN just spent a good chunk of time broadcasting over the weekend.
Yeah, and that's the misconception, is that your traditional sports guys aren't going to understand that. Yes, we love playing basketball. NBA 2K is a fun game. MLB The Show, phenomenal game. But you're not going to sit there and watch somebody else play baseball when I can go outside and play baseball. You're not going to watch somebody sit there for hours on end playing NBA 2K when I can go outside and play basketball, or I can play NBA 2K myself.
Yeah,
so it's not exactly that popular. Dota, Defenders of the Arena, That's nuts. One of the sites. Oh, I should have sent you this other site. There's a. You can actually look into esports. There's esports earnings.
Esports
Where it gives,
earnings. Oh, we can just go ahead and do this right now. Esports earnings.
yeah, I think it's esports earnings. It might be .com.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm pulling it up on the screen now.
If you go to games themselves, by the way, you can see they've given out $802 million already.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That's
Where's
wild.
the wrong business?
Yeah, you could say we're in the right. You could definitely say we're in the wrong business right now. I like what I do though. You know, I'm not playing video games out there.
$802 million. But
yeah. So all right. So Fortnite. No, there was somebody that just. So number 3, highest total prizes awarded, League of Legends. Right now, you know, Fortnite was number 3. I'm looking at some of the things that are open right now. I mean, there's all sorts of money being played, but getting back to the point, none of this is actual sports simulations like NBA 2K or Madden. Madden might get the pub because it's got that close association with the NFL, and they'll always do something around the Super Bowl. But in terms of actual things that are being played for money, Madden's just not up there.
No, not at all. Remember, ESPN used to do way back when the Madden on TV.
Yes,
where that really didn't get any following. Nobody.
And that was done almost like a reality show too. You know, they would follow people around.
Yeah, but it didn't really get the following. It doesn't have the push. The big pushes are going to be anything with fantasy in there, with any type of imagination, a spin on reality. Mm-hmm. Yes, those are the things that esports players love. I mean, it's fun. I mean, in Overwatch, for example, you can be a hamster on a ball. A hamster on a ball taking people out.
Dude, I don't get it. My kid my older kid just bought Overwatch because he had a birthday and he had some Xbox money to get through, and he finally decided to take the plunge on. I'm like, hey, just so you know, people have been playing Overwatch for a couple of years now, and like it's like trying to get into Splatoon 2 right now, and suddenly you find yourself in a turf war or one of their ranked battles, and you're dealing with people who are just off the charts ranked. I mean, they will just crush you at this point in time.
Oh yeah, that's why I feel bad. I just started trying to learn how to play Heroes of the Storm. So League of Legends is of course Riot Games. Heroes of the Storm is Blizzard. They're truthfully, gameplay wise, they're roughly about the same, because you still are trying to take over another castle in a sense, or another area, kind of like capture the flag stuff. But yes, they're very similar. Hence the reason why Valorant is coming out. That's their big competitor to Overwatch. Blizzard and Riot going head to head right now.
Meanwhile, another thing about these types of games, whether it's Overwatch or League of Legends, Dota, the sport is the sport, right? Basketball, even though there have been rules changes, 99% of it is what you have known for a long time. You know, peach baskets have been given way to nylon and things like that, but ultimately the basis of the game is the same. If we were to use a competitive gaming term, the main has remained the same for 100 years, like baseball, football. The main is the same.
Yes.
But even within Overwatch, the last couple of years, I've read that there have been complaints about the main of these competitions, that it's basically kind of boiled down to these very slow moving type of matches that weren't as fun and wild as they used to be, because everybody's just kind of figured out the thing. So Blizzard has had to come out with Overwatch 2, where they're going to change a lot of the storylines or add to whatever they've done now. And the main essentially changes at that point. That doesn't happen with traditional sports, and that can affect the way and the popularity of a game within the course of 6 months.
And that's the tough part with the esports world as well. Mm-hmm. And that's why the magic of League of Legends and Dota 2, Counter-Strike Go, and there are a few others that are there, like even Rocket League. You've got to figure out a way, just like in football, how the Atlanta Falcons have just now changed their jerseys.
Yeah.
It's been the same for what they say, I think it was like 40 years or something crazy.
Something like that. Yeah.
So now they just changed their jerseys, hoping to draw in more fans. With the esports world, it's similar where the main that you're talking about changes just a tweak, but the game essentially is the same. But they don't have that same 40-year span that you can go on. You have roughly about a 6-month span, and you've really got to keep up with updates to keep players interested in coming back. Because with baseball, for example, there's baseball. You can go to AAA, AA, single A, majors. You can have your pineapple leagues and stuff like that.
The game that you watch with the Durham Bulls is essentially the same game you're going to watch if it was the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yep. But the League of Legends, you have League of Legends, you have Heroes of the Storm, you have another 50 other games that you have to deal with, where it plays all similar, but this one game, League of Legends, has to keep their fans interested, which they just released. I think it was a patch. What is the name of that patch? It was a scary patch too, but I forgot the name of it.
It's okay. While you're thinking the name of it, I actually pulled up some Rocket League that people, if they're watching right now, they can see an example of Rocket League if they've never watched it before. I just decided to pull up some weird Twitter tournament that's taking place right now, and I can already tell that some of these people are playing in a way that I'm not familiar with playing. Like I always do ball tracking. I never take it off ball tracking. And like the guy that's playing right now is doing a really, really good job of like switching in between the two. Like when he needs to hone in on it and make like an actual play, he just flew into the air. I can't do that. Like I can't fly in the air like that, man. No. So, but again, I could hang and contribute in a game like this because the game is the game. I mean, it would be no different than me going out on the basketball court and being like, all right, LeBron, you and me, let's go. I'm still going to get crushed though, but you understand the basics of the game pretty early on once you get a handle of the controls.
Yeah, and for example, like even with Rocket League, there are other competitors of Rocket League. There's one on Steam that's pretty bad, but there are some other type of games that are like Rocket League.
Yeah.
So the main in Rocket League is going to stay the same, but they just released season 6 patch, which opened up some other some other arenas, some other skins for your cars, and other things that you can add. So it's the tough part with esports is they always have to keep up with the trends. Baseball and everybody else don't have to keep up with the trends per se at the same pace.
Yeah.
So that's the tough thing with esports is, I mean, how you're talking about the main, the main will tweak a little, but that tweak has to be something where it's not so crazy that it takes away from the game, but it has to be something to draw interest, to say, hey, like in Fortnite, when Apex Legends came out, Apex Legends started dominating the market when it first came out last year in February.
Oh, I remember Ninja played it and everybody was raving about it.
Yep. And one of the big things that Apex Legends introduced was a way to call back your players. In every Battle Royale game, there was no way to call back your players.
Right.
But when Apex did it, Fortnite introduced those vans.
Yep.
Because they needed to tweak their game to keep their game the same per se, but the trend of what's happening in the Battle Royale scene. Like I am willing to say, I won't say the word that starts with a B and an E and a T, but because that's not allowed in sports.
No.
But I guarantee you the way that Warzone has taken off, because a lot of people have switched over and started playing Warzone. The problem that Warzone is going to have is something completely different. It was dealing with hackers. Until they fix that, they're not going to dominate.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but the big thing that Warzone started doing on the inside of it is adding extra hunts per se. So you could track somebody. You could be tracked. You could have a contract put out on you in the middle of the game where you're trying to last to be the end. It's a new concept.
I like that, actually.
Now it's a twist on Battle Royale, so I get extra points for going after somebody who I haven't even seen, and I can pick out this group rather than hunting down everybody else. So like that's something that I guarantee you, Epic will watch and they will say that people like this. Epic will then say, let's add this to Fortnite. And it'll be something new in Fortnite. So it's going to be, again, Battle Royale, the main of Battle Royale is last to the end. The
Imitation
that each person has on it is where those trends lie. So the Fortnite was the trendsetter, started with the skins. Everybody went to skins.
Oh, so much money spent on those skins.
Oh my goodness. Then Apex came in, dropped in teams of 3, dropped in the calling your players back.
Mm-hmm.
So now everybody's doing it. Then now Warzone is dropping in some extra information. Epic is going to add in something. Each one will drop in something every season. So yeah, it's like I said, that's esports.
That's Jatovi McDuffie. You might know him from the Durham Bulls, and he does the Triangle Esports Championship, which just took place a little bit ago. Let's wrap things up. And if somebody wanted to go see one of these events when all of the coronavirus is behind us and we can actually gather together, when are you planning for the next Triangle Esports?
Oh, so there are a couple of big things actually right now in the works.
Okay.
So there's Triangle Esports and Bull City Gaming. Mm-hmm. Both of the things are they're essentially the same, but starting at the beginning of May, working on an online Rocket League tournament to benefit the Diaper Bank of North Carolina as well as Urban Ministries. So the goal is to have kind of like basketball with 64 teams of Rocket League. 32 bracket will be for the Urban Ministries. Another 32 bracket will be for Diaper Bank Championship. Then, of course, the prize pool money will be split between not only the winners, but also the 2 charities. Then starting weeklies for Fortnite, where it's going to be a $50 weekly. The winner will be picked on Friday, running through a server called running through the Mayhem client, because I don't know if you know about Mayhem, but if you play Fortnite on the PC, it sometimes works with the consoles, but it's dedicated mainly for the PC, but it automatically tallies your scores. So it's not a matter of reporting as much as it's already tallying your scores. So I'm able to do a leaderboard and run that for the next 18 weeks with the Durham Sports Commission. Then moving into next year, I'm in the midst of talking with the town of Cary to get that to happen again next year in Cary. Durham, with the Sports Commission again, we're trying to have that happen sometime hopefully in May. And then I'm having to reschedule till next year a tournament in Smash Brothers that was supposed to happen in Wake Forest till next year. And then also there's a tentative plan for a tournament in September in Winston-Salem, but we're probably going to move that till next year as well. So yeah, busy time.
You sound busy, man. We're all busy. We're all trying to keep busy. We're all trying to keep people somewhat entertained. Hey, man, we appreciate it. And hopefully we can do this a little bit later on and kind of catch people up on any other esports things that are going on. But just, if you're just tuning into the Facebook Live, esports is getting a moment right now because we're all stuck at home and there's no traditional sports being played. And we're all just trying to find the next thing to put on TV. Yep. And right now, the traditional sports that are played online, they make sense to put on ESPN, but in terms of who's actually watching esports, this competitive gaming, you go to Twitch and you come to find out that a lot of these sports games just don't have a lot of that run. Be curious if ESPN eventually, I know they got these partnerships with the NBA and the NFL and things like that, if they'd be willing to put something like a Dota championship on the main network just to see what would happen.
They put Overwatch on ESPN2 on occasion.
Yeah, I think when they did the Barclays the championship was like 2 years ago, I think it was. Mm-hmm. They made a big deal out of that. They sent ESPN personalities out there. I know Bomani Jones and Pablo Torre went out there to check it out and they talked about it. And they were fascinated by just the overall presentation of a live event like that. Mm-hmm. So it's making its ways. That's Jatovi McDuffie. I'm Joe Ovies. We appreciate everybody who watched this Facebook Live. If you want to know more about this kind of stuff, by all means, check out Bull City Gaming We got Bull City GG on Twitch,
Yep.
where Jatovi's playing a lot of games, and I'll occasionally fire up. I got the Dreamcast emulator.
Oh,
Playing a little Daytona.
Joe,
Let's go away. What's that?
We got to play Rocket League now. We got to,
All right, we'll play some Rocket League. We'll do some screen sharing. We'll do some Rocket League. All right, we'll see y'all. Everybody have a good night.